Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. Today, I'm going to just do a little pre-recording for Memorial Day remembrance on the 26th of May. Just so happens that this Memorial Day is my birthday. I share a birthday with my daughter. I'll be 67. She's going to be 26. And, so we feel kind of honored that our birthday falls on Memorial Day and in remembrance of all those people who paid the ultimate sacrifice so we could be free in America the way we are. Uh, Whether we agree with all the wars or not, it's immaterial that there was, no matter what, there was brave men and women who sacrificed their lives to make sure that no matter what the politics of the situation was, that our country will remain great and their lives should always be honored. There's another part to this too. I have a little short video where a guy says, people argue about when Memorial Day really began. And of course, there's an official start of it, but there's some hidden documents that says that in our country, I believe there's, people always remember the folks who died for them. So this is one story of Memorial Day, where some black folks in 1865 commemorated, people who paid the sacrifice for their freedom. And the other thing about this in the backdrop, we'll see black folks who lived in a time when there really, really was oppression, and and what they hear the incessant whining today is really kind of a joke in the backdrop of how the brothers and sisters used to live back in America back in the day. Anyway, so and then at the end, uh, I'm playing an ode to America. A lot of I like songs and some music, so it's a short little ode to America and how we appreciate being Americans in this country. So stay tuned for that after we play this little clip. It's like 7 minutes. I might stop it a couple of times just for copyright situations. And I'll put the uninterrupted clip in the description. So here goes. Listen up.
One where the first Memorial Day is not born from official decrees, but from the heart of freedmen in a war-torn city. This tale, lost to the history books and buried beneath the soil of Charleston, South Carolina. Join me as we talk about the forgotten story of the first Memorial Day. And if you like stories like this, you can find more stories like this at OneMicHistory.com. Also, so you can support the YouTube channel. And I have a new channel, One Mic 2. Please subscribe. But without further ado, let's get started. Memorial Day's origins are shrouded in mystery and intrigue. Numerous towns across the United States vie for the honor of being recognized as its birthplace. Among those, Waterloo, New York, or Carbondale, Illinois stand out, yet historians believed that the first continuous commemoration might be in Columbus, Mississippi, where in April of 1866, a group of compassionate women took it upon themselves to decorate the graves of fallen soldiers, turning their grief into a solemn tradition. However, a lesser known yet equally compelling tale comes from freedmen in Charleston, South Carolina. This hidden chapter came to light thanks to David Blight, a professor of American history at Yale University. On a fateful day in 1996, while digging through boxes at Harvard's Halton Library, he stumbled upon a treasure, a handwritten account of the first Decoration Day in 1865. Accompanying this narrative was a clipping from a New York Tribune labeled First Decoration Day. So, in the spring of 1865, the Civil War had just ended. The city of Charleston laid in ruins, a somber backdrop against a slow march towards freedom. The war had left many scars, but none more profound than the makeshift prison at Washington's Race Course and Jockey Club, a once lavish playground for the Southern elite, was now a stark reminder of cruelty and captivity. Here, in the open air field and racetrack, more than 260 Union soldiers perished, subjugated to disease and exposure, their bodies hastily buried into a mass grave. Once Confederate forces evacuated, leaving behind the battered city, an extraordinary event unfolded, initiated by the newly freed African Americans. These men and women who had just endured the shackles of enslavement stepped forward to honor those who laid unremembered in the makeshift graves. And as their first act of liberty was not one of celebration for themselves, but one of commemoration for the fallen. With meticulous care, they exhumed the mass graves, and over 10 days, they reburied each soldier, transforming the site into a dignified resting place. They erected a towering whitewashed fence around the newly sanctified ground, declaring it martyrs of the race course. This act was not just about giving the soldiers a proper burial, but it was a profound statement of humanity and grace from those who had long been denied it. And then, in April 1st, 1865, what happened next was truly unprecedented. What can only be described as a collective moment of catharsis. Approximately 10,000 people, mostly Black freedmen in Charleston, South Carolina, gathered at the race course. The day commemorates with a parade of 3,000 Black school children who marched holding roses and singing John Brown's body. They, followed by scores of adults from Aid Society for free Black men and women. But these scenes were not about a somber mourning, but a peaceful celebration and a tribute to the spirit of the fallen and the declaration of a new beginning.
All right. So if anybody really wanted to dispute the origins of Memorial Day, it's okay. The issue is that this was a memorial to those who have fallen for the Civil War, right? So pretty much the definition of Memorial Day is anytime you pay tribute to people who paid the ultimate price. And regardless of this was the official American day that's on the American calendar that somebody put there, that's great. But that doesn't mean there weren't a slew of Memorial Days to fallen soldiers long before it became an official government day.
Throughout the day, Black pastors delivered moving sermons, led spiritual hymns, filled the air of hope and renewal, and families gathered for picnics under the warm spring air, sharing stories and dreams for the future. Patriotic songs echoed throughout the day, and as the afternoon wore on, Black and white Union regiments marched around the grave sites in a powerful display of unity. The graves themselves were transformed with a tapestry of flowers filled with sweet scents mingled with the spring breeze, and the sight was said to have brought a tear of joy to many an eye. It was a heartful tribute, a moment of pure human connection from the depths of sorrow and strife. For many years afterwards, the story remained hidden, cloaked in the silence of the white community of Charleston. It briefly resurfaced in a forgotten correspondence in a 1916 letter from the United Daughters of the Confederacy in New Orleans, seeking information about a large parade of freedmen on a horse track at the end of the war. The reply from the Charleston chapter was regretful and evasive, stating that I regret I am unable to gather any official information in response to this. Decades later, Union General John A. Logan led a veterans group called for a National Day of Remembrance for Fallen Soldiers, which was officially marked as Memorial Day, March 30th, 1868. Celebrations began taking place at all.
All right. So I'm going to leave it on that one because I just wanted to get to the point where they officially say when Memorial Day was. But one of the things as a Black man living today, and regardless of why the Civil War happened, well, I know why. I mean, to keep the Union together. The fact is that one of the consequences of keeping the Union together was freeing Black people from the worst slavery that we'll ever admit to, the chattel slavery that the Southern Democrats had us under down in the, in the worst kind of conditions ever for hundreds of years. And, the one thing that I'll say out loud for this, and I'm not going to be really long about it, is that it was white men willing to fight their cousins and their brothers and their fathers and uncles to keep the Union together, knowing that they would have to, at some point, deal with a bunch of Blacks that maybe they didn't even like and share this great country with people that they couldn't stand. But hey, listen, A lot of people gave their lives for us to be free. Not only black people, but white people in America did too. So we can't ever really forget that. So anyway, so there's a memorial to those people that is worthwhile that fought that Civil War, even though we participated as well. And let me also, like I told you, I'm gonna end this with this this song that I had put together. You know, I use AI. I'll just tell you that, but I do manipulate some of the lyrics from time to time. So let's, without further ado, here you go.
From the mountains high to the valleys low, where the rivers run free, the wildflowers grow. From the shores of the ocean to the deserts wide, every heart beats proud with a spirit inside. And oh, America, America, your tapestry so grand, with colors of freedom painted across the land. In every sunrise and every starry night, you shine with hope, you burn so bright. In the bustling cities and the quiet towns, and the laughter and love that dead people found. From the Golden Gate Bridge to the shores of Maine, in the warmth of your heart we dance through the rain. And oh, America, America, your tapestry so grand, with colors of freedom painted across the land. In every sunrise and every starry night, you shine with hope, you burn so bright. No, America, America, your tapestry so grand, with colors of freedom painted across the land. In every sunrise and in every starry night, you shine with hope, it's so bright. Full love and compassion, carry the flame in our hearts forever. America's the name.
Our pain, marriage, politics, and sports. Over and out.